Hello and welcome. I am here today with Simon Meakins from Bristow Helicopters. We have some warm-up questions to start with. The first one is, do you remember the first flight you ever took in your life?
Wow, that's a great question. First flight must have been when I was 8 or 9 years old, and it would have been a holiday flight, 737, whatever it was, across to Spain or somewhere like that. But yeah, always been totally obsessed with flights.
Yeah.
Always wanted to be a pilot from when I was a small child, and managed to achieve that aim.
It's much better, but you started earlier. I started with 21. That was my first flight. And when flying commercially, do you prefer window or aisle?
I go for the window.
Window.
I like to be able to see what's going on
outside the window. Yeah. Long haul flights, day flight or night flight?
Day flight.
Day flight.
Day flight.
Preferred.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely. Watch the TV. Make the most of the catering.
And during boarding, do you board first or do you board last?
First.
You board first.
Absolutely first. Yes.
Very good. So then moving to the eVTOL side, if you were to explain the potential of eVTOLs for somebody outside the industry in aviation, how would you explain the value to them?
Again, an excellent question. I very clearly feel that it is about being able to bring new technology into reality. So being able to take off and land vertically, to move between A and B in an efficient manner, to be able to do that using electrical propulsion. So for me, it is really about embracing the future, flying quickly, quietly, efficiently between A and B.
Quickly, quiet, and efficiently. That's perfect. And if you can imagine an ideal first flight or first application of eVTOLs, what would that be?
So for me, it's about being able to fly these aircraft in a scenario that gives something to the environment or to the place that you're operating from. So be that being able to fly people and miss out the traffic and fly between an airport and their home location, or be that carrying a cargo from a hospital to another hospital. Those are the sort of use cases that are going to really develop and show value to the wider public.
With the arrival of eVTOLs, what would you see that would change in people's perspectives in day-to-day life? Let's think of a scale scenario.
If you can show people that they can get time back in their lives, then that is going to make a difference. So if you can avoid being stuck in traffic, if you can obviously have an improved environmental footprint and not use fossil fuels, then that has to be something real. So to me, it is about being able to show something that is going to give them time back, enable them to make more of their time and more of their daily lives, and be environmentally efficient.
And then looking at today's scenario, these aircraft are under development. What gives you confidence that the technology will come and will come to stay?
The manufacturers that we work with, that everyone is seeing out in the environment now, all have huge energy, huge knowledge, huge experience in building different types of aircraft, but in challenging the norm. So being able to do things differently, I think, is incredibly important. Yes, it's expensive. Yes, getting certification is tough, but the quality of the people in the industry is what will deliver to that. And making sure that we learn the lessons of the past and we integrate those into the future will absolutely make sure that we're successful.
Excellent. And lastly, you are from Great Britain. You're British, aren't you?
I am.
Would you have a preference to see where these aircraft would fly in Britain?
I would love to see them here in the UK. I live in Scotland. There's some great use cases in Scotland with some remote locations and some very challenging places to operate in and out of. But equally, I grew up. I was born in London. I grew up in London, and London's a fantastic city, but it is busy. And if you can again look at use cases that make transport better and more efficient and cleaner and quieter, that would be a great place to start.
Well, Simon, thank you so much for sparing a couple of minutes to have this conversation with us. Thank you for the exchange during the panel. And hopefully, you as the operator, us as the manufacturer, we can work together to bring this technology to life.
Thank you, Louis. Absolutely my pleasure, and very much looking forward to continuing the relationship.